Hello everyone, welcome to Magazine Afrique's weekly roundup. A lot happened last week, and if you blinked, you would have probably missed some of the biggest information of the news that happened last week. From major headlines to silent moves that could have major impact. Join me as we break down some of the biggest stories that took place last week without the noise. Let's get into it. The second week of 2026 opened with news that some MDAs, that is ministries, departments and agencies of the federal government of Nigeria, had injected 3.5 trillion naira worth of new projects into the 2026 budget, despite an earlier freeze. Now, the federal government announced some weeks ago that, or should I say some months ago, that all MDAs should carry over 70% of their budget into the new year, but some ministries still found a way to inject new projects, which totaled about 844.49 billion naira into the new project. But when you look at it in the service-wide under a service-wide lens, the whole project, the whole amount totaled to about 3.50 trillion naira. And amidst all of this, reports emerged during the week that a particular ministry, that is the Federal Ministry of Work, has set aside 500 million naira in its budget to train people, to train makeup artists, hairdressers, and also to buy grinding machine for people across various states in Nigeria. In other developments, the price war between Dangote Refinery and retailers took a new turn after retailers began dropping their price just to compete with Dangote Refinery. Earlier in the week, reports emerged that some retailers had dropped their price below the 739 naira price per litre that was recommended by Dangote Refinery. According to reports and survey, some retailers sold their fuel for as low as 738 naira, 735 naira, and also as low as 736 naira across various stations, just in a bid to meet up with the competition that the Dangote Refinery is causing them. Still on petroleum related news, Nigeria hit a record milestone in 2025 after the amount is spent on importing refined products crashed by more than 54% in 2025. According to the CBN, the amount that Nigeria spends on importing refined fuel every year, reduced from 14.58 billion naira in 2023 to 6.71 billion naira in 2025, according to the CBN. That means Nigeria is not spending as much as we used to on petroleum imports, that is to spend on refined good. And this is because of the effort that has been made in the refinery structure, or the refinery, and this is due to the effort that has been made in the fuel refinery sector of Nigeria. Meanwhile, in another development, the United Nations Refugee Agency, that is the UNHCR, revealed that there are at least 21,807 foreign refugees and asylum seekers that are unregistered in Nigeria. According to the agency, a lot of them originated from war-torn countries like Cameroon and the likes. Now, the agency further and moved on to say that there are about 127,000 refugees and asylum seekers from 41 countries, with 21,807 still awaiting registration by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internationally Displaced Persons in Nigeria. And that means some of them are currently being processed, while a lot of them are still unregistered. And this is due to the issues of banditry, the issues of terrorism and other things that has plagued this part of sub-Saharan Africa over the past few years. On the same issues of security, a report revealed that Nigerian governors since 2023 and 2025 have spent and budgeted a total of 525 billion naira on security-related issues. According to the report, that these Nigerian governors from 2023 to 2025, have budgeted and probably spent up to that amount. That is about 525.23 billion naira on security related matters. And this brings a lot of concern that if the governors have spent or budgeted a lot of this amount of money, why is there still a lot of insecurity in this country, and why does the insecurity issue still persist? In economy, the World Bank has predicted that Nigeria is most likely going to experience its fastest growth in over 10 years in 2026. According to the World Bank, the Nigerian economy may grow by more than 4.4%. This comes as an increase to the initial prediction that the economy will grow by 3.7% that was earlier made by the World Bank. And the bank explained that this is due, and this growth will largely depend on new innovations and new services that are currently being developed in Nigeria, especially in the financial sector, the information and technology sector, and all of these other sectors that are currently growing in Nigeria. Still on economy, the federal government of Nigeria has ordered banks to remit the 7.5% VAT that they have been collecting on service charges for transactions. And this news broke during the week, and it caused a lot of uproar among Nigerians that are saying that the government is planning to tax them upon the existing one that was introduced earlier this year. Now, the 7.5% VAT, despite what people are saying, is a service charge that has already currently been paid by people, that has been paid by people over the years, but maybe because people have not noticed it, and that's why it's causing a lot of issue. If you look at your transactions, you see that some banks are already charging you 53.75 on transactions and 26.8 on transactions, and these are already been included. It's VAT 7.5% VAT had already been included in these transactions, so you may not need to worry about it because they had already been in existence, and the banks that are sending you message are the ones that had not been collecting it initially. Meanwhile, in education, the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board has announced that it has set January 26 as the date to commence the sales of its registration form for direct entry and UTME examinations. That means people can now, students or admission seekers can now begin to apply the form starting from January 26, 2025. And according to the agency, that only people who are more than 16 as of September 30th, 2026 can apply for this form. That means if you will not be 16 by September 30th, 2026, you are not eligible to take this. Meanwhile, in entertainment, Davido, popular music artist, has continued to face backlash as we continue to be in the midst of a paternity allegations. The music artist came online to explain the other day that he is not the father of a lady describing herself as Anu Adeleke 001 on social media, claiming to be the daughter of this popular musician. The music artist said he had done 5 paternity tests and all of them claimed that he is not the father, but the lady and her mother are currently accusing the music artist of being the father and only doing 1 paternity test. Anyway, there's still more of this and we'll give you as the story develops. And that's a wrap on last week's biggest news. If you found this roundup helpful, please do well to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to our news to get more information like this. And if you feel like there's any news that deserves more attention and more updates, do well to leave a comment and we'll do an explicit video on that issue explaining more of it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.